Hello, this is John, and welcome to John's Long Box. Today, I thought I'd talk about Rat Queens. This is the last issue. This is the second series, and I think this is the last issue. They're not soliciting anymore, so this might be it. This isn't so much as showcasing this particular issue as talking about the comic itself. Okay, well, the comic itself is like you said, Image Comics. It's a fantasy comic. It's like the creator was I'm going to say the name wrong. Curtis Weeby, I think, and Rock Upchurch was the artist, and it was like based on Dungeons and Dragons. So I just picked it up because it's like a humor Dungeons and Dragons type of comic. In the past couple of years, along with if you see my videos, I've been talking about I got into Private Detective, but I also got to like D&D, so I was getting like Dungeons and Dragons and Pathfinders, and that led me to Rat Queens. So here's the credits. This particular issue is drawn by Moratat, whose name I don't know if that's his real. I mean, that's obviously a stage name or whatever, but I love his art, so that's what made me want to pick it up. So this is the Indicia March 2, Volume 2, 25. So this is the second volume. The first volume lasted until issue 16, and I think there was some sort of problem with the creators, a dispute that I don't know the particulars, and to be honest, I don't care about the people's personalities conflicting. I got my own life to lead, but this is the second series. It was written by Ryan Ferrier, so the original writer handed it off. And I don't know the inside baseball, but here it is. This particular story is a culmination of the entire series. The character of Hannah, she's like this mage. She was like she was a necromancer. She made a deal with the demon, and because of that, she was like possessed. So this is like her evil self. Yeah, this is like her evil self talking with her good self, and they're just having like a magic mental battle. And see, here's her evil self, her good self, and they're whatever, just fighting and dancing. And this is the rest of the Rat Queens. Okay, this is Madeline. She's just joined. She's an apprentice fighter. Her father was a bard who owns a tavern. And she always admired the Rat Queens, and she just joined. This is Betty. They can't call her a hobbit or a halfling, so they call her a smidgen, which fits. And she's this little like hippie, psychedelic drug-using candy freak. She's actually kind of funny. She's my favorite. This is Braga. She's an orc fighter. She left the group, joined the group, left the group, joined the group. This is, why can't I remember her name? That's the actual Hannah. That's the good Hannah. This is the evil ones bouncing around. She's, like I said, she's a black-haired elven necromancer. And this is Delilah. She's a human high priestess of like some sort of Cthulhu unpronounceable monster, and she lost her faith in her god, but she still retains her powers. Matter of fact, she was given goddess powers by this crazy cult. I still don't remember the particular details, but so she could like switch on these goddess powers. And then there was another character who's not here. She left. She went and got married. It was Violet. Violet was a little dwarf girl, and she wanted to go out. Same story as like oh geez, why can't I remember her name from Lord of the Rings? She wanted to go out and fight, and her family wouldn't let her, so she left her dwarf society, shaved her beard because they're sticking to the Tolkien idea that all dwarves have beards, even the females, and joined the Rat Queens as a rebellion. So this is just goofy. She's singing and dancing her plans and taking out a horrible little rabbit. But look at this wonderful artwork. Moratat. He did Jonah Hex series for a while. It was like my favorite comic for a while. I just love his women are beautiful. His men are strong and powerful. So now she's like reduced to a little girl. Look at the cute little face. It's adorable. And talking to her father. So this is all going on in her head. But look at the men are all pretty tough. So she's taunting everybody. But again, I'm not going over this particular comic. So, but they are mercenaries. They're a team of mercenaries, and they're hard drinking, hard loving. You know, they always go to the tavern and get hired to go out and go on missions for money. And like, I very rarely remember them. Like, they always succeed in the missions, but it's never really that profitable, or they end up just blowing the money on something. Look at this gorgeous artwork. It's just fun and silly and zany. It gets off the walls at one point. Sorry, just got distracted by this. I could just stare at this artwork. This comic has us very fortunate to have some just great art throughout the whole series. So now, her good self and her evil self, and she was created by some sort of demon, so she actually exists. And here they are, they're like trapped in some like limbo, you know, and they fight. They come back, and then they have tea or whatever. And here's the Rat Queens as old ladies. They actually broke into this limbo dimension to save her. Here, look, cool armor. And then when they break out, they go back in time. You know, it's all Dungeons & Dragons, so it's all magic, medieval fantasy. This is computerized colors. You could tell by the colors just, you know, gradiate into the next ones without perfect delineations or anything like that. You can't really. Well, I guess you can do it with a brush. What do I know? I'm not a painter. So here she defeats her evil self, and they're welcoming her back into the fray. So, of course, she smiles. Is it the good one? Is it the evil one? At the end. So he said he was going to make it like a web comic. So I just think that this is supposed to be really good. Lucy Glare Redemption. I got the first issue. I got to read it. Jules Verne's Lighthouse. I love Jules Verne. I don't know anything about this. Okay, but I could see this not being everybody's cup of tea. It's kind of goofy. They don't take themselves too seriously, and they're always drinking and talking about drugs and sex and violence and stuff like that. Like they actually thrive on like danger and high stakes and drinking, and you know, it's so they're not heroes. Although they do save the city and they fought this god. So at one point they do save the world. They're not heroes in the sense that they're like superheroes or anything like that. For any of you who've played Dungeons and Dragons, and this is probably why I like it, is I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, but they seem like player characters. You know, they seem like the storyteller is making up a legit straight quest, and then these characters just mess it up through stupid decisions, drinking, you know, going off and not planning, and impatience, stuff like that. So I just got a kick out of that, reading this comic and being like, yeah, this writer really did play with a group of unruly player characters. So I got a kick out of it. I'll be sad to see it go. And like I said, there was 25 issues in this run, and there was 16 issues in the original run. And now on Kickstarter, there's actually a Red Queens board game that I backed, because I got to get a Betty miniature. So that's really all I'm going to say. I don't want to tell you this comic because this culminates the entire series. So I kind of went through it really quick. When I grabbed it, I wasn't thinking I shouldn't have got the last issue. But it's surprisingly fun. There you go. That's Rat Queens. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for your time, and tomorrow I'll be back with regular comic showcases. Let me know if you liked it when I showed off my collection and sorting stuff like that, or if you'd rather just me stick to showcases. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye bye.